Okay, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome. A pleasure to have you with us today. Some housekeeping information first. We have 4 languages available today, so there are headsets. Please use them as appropriate. Today on peut parler français, one can speak French. Wir können Deutsch sprechen, we can speak German, we can speak English also, and also Polish. So these will be the 4 authorized languages today. And our masters and pupils are equipped to handle any question in any of these 4 languages. All right, so welcome to this masterclass on science communication. And I will be extremely brief. I'm going to just set the scene, and we'll go into our class proper. First of all, let me say that we are living in a very...
6? No?
societies, and in that respect, science is a synonym of progress since centuries. Now, there is the other side, and the other side is that science, when it brings advances, is also introducing new problems in a sense, because it can be extremely disruptive, and for people, for societies, this has consequences. The other feature of science is it is frequently very expensive, more and more expensive actually, as we know, in this world, this modern world. And for stakeholders, for politicians in particular, it is always a very difficult decision to make, and for investors also, how much money, how much effort, resource to put into science. And as Sir Borisevich said in the plenary, some of you may have heard that, there is virtually no politician who will benefit from the investment he or she could have made in science, because there is a certain time delay, time lag. And last, and this is exactly the purpose of our session today, science is notoriously difficult to explain. So let's see about this issue of science communication. There are many different models for communicating it. I'll mention only 4 just to set the scene. The first one, of course, has to do with the nature of the subject, whether it's the universe, infinitely large or infinitely small, whether it's abstract or concrete. One has to adapt, of course, the discourse. The other thing has to do with the angle of view. One can start from the description of a problem and conduct some form of inquiry. That's a certain approach to it. One can privilege the work of the scientists itself, or one can focus more on the life of the project and highlight the results which are being achieved. Third feature has to do with what I would say, this dichotomy between the academic presentation of science and the other one, which is maybe a bit more modern, which is more interactive, which has to do with the notion of adventure and making the best possible use of social networks and the digital age. And the last one, not to be neglected, and here we have a pretty good sample about that, has to do with the cultural dimension. Audiences are different. Politicians cannot be addressed the same way as entrepreneurs. And to make a caricature, let's say there is possibly an Anglo-Saxon way of presenting science and a more continental approach. Now, because science is difficult to communicate, we decided to set up a class, and today is a study of 4 case studies, and we are very privileged because we have 2 eminent masters, 2 eminent professors, which I'm going to present in a second, and 4 pupils who are scientists, with one exception, one being a journalist. And it's really important for them because they have to communicate their work, and by nature, they should be the best possible ambassadors to do this job. So this class will help them today to improve, to sharpen their skills. They must be proficient in communication, in communicating science. Now, the way we're going to organize the session is, first, the two masters are going to present their views, their experience, the lessons they've learned, through the years. And we will start with Claudie Haigneré, followed by Leo and Wright. You see the pictures themselves. And then we will invite each pupil separately to come, make the point, raise a question, and then the masters will provide feedback, comments, give advice. And once we have exhausted the list of 4, which you see on the screen, we will have a more general discussion, a lively discussion of the class between the masters and the pupil. And then at the end, I intend to save, say, 10, 15 minutes to have a dialogue with the audience so that you can raise questions on the case studies you will have heard about, but also on any issues of a broader nature you want to address. So let's move on, and I would like to invite Claudie Haigneré to take the floor now. And I'm going to switch to French because Claudie, as you know, is French. So please jump on your headset if you don't master the language. Claudie, bienvenue. Claudie, whom I've known for some time, is, of course, President de Universcience, l'association des...
So she's President of Universcience, which is the French Museums Association in France. She has a scientific background, though. She's a medical doctor. She has numerous diplomas. It's an area she's very, very well up in. She's also applied her scientific knowledge, and because she's very adventurous, she became a woman astronaut, and it's the only woman in the world, as far as I know, who's been to the Russian space station Mir and the International Space Station, the European, Japanese, American one. So she has very broad experience, and over and above that, she was research minister, an extremely difficult job, particularly in a country like France. And so she's covered the whole range of activities, from pure science to action activities and political, and of course the political life and the political speech making that goes with it.